Hello and welcome to This Is Your Life from stunning Queenstown, where we are about to surprise one of our most beloved and respected actors. Rebecca Gibney was just a teenager when she began her career here in New Zealand before moving to Australia nearly 4 decades ago and winning the adoration of millions. She is back in her homeland shooting a TV series, and what she doesn't know is today's script involves a plot twist with an unexpected visitor and a very special red book. So we're hiding in the lighting truck and Rebecca's out filming a driving scene. Her car is on the back of a low loader and I can hear it crunching on the gravel, which means it's pretty close. She has no idea that we are here. Just going slowly. I've got my... Hi! Oh my God, my heart is pounding. Well, we are here to celebrate you, Rebecca Gibney. This is your life. Thank you so much.
Tonight, the biggest stars of the screen celebrate a much-loved actor. From her dearest friends to high-profile surprises. A who's who of drama and entertainment pay tribute to one incredible woman. Rebecca Gibney, this is your life.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for one of Australia's most loved performers, the wonderful Rebecca Gibney. Oh, thank you. I'm crying already. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. Well, Rebecca, you are one of the most popular and recognisable actors on Australian screens. Since scoring your first role here in 1985, you've appeared in 28 TV series and miniseries, 15 telemovies, 11 films. You've taken out the Best Actress Award at the AFIs. You've won a Gold Logie. And one of your most renowned roles was in a homegrown, heartfelt drama that ran for 5 years. Each week, more than 2 million Australians were immersed in the life of Julie Rafter and her family. So please welcome your Pact to the Rafters co-stars, Eric Thompson, Zoe Ventura and George Uvardis. Oh my God, hello. You were in Greece.
I'm back. Wow. I came back for you.
Thank you.
You're gorgeous.
Oh my God.
Do we hold hands?
I think you need to. But while you do, we're going to take a moment to remind everyone of some of those beautiful Rafters moments.
We came down here to have some fun, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. What's this?
Oh, no, not charades. Please, Mum, anything but charades.
What's this?
It's a film.
Thank you. And a book.
Mum, this is insane. You can't force us to enjoy ourselves.
You watch me. This family's going to have a good time if it kills me.
Oh my God.
Oh, she's still got it. A few more wrinkles, maybe. Grey hairs.
Think of the morale boost when you win.
We will win.
Morning. Central Station in here.
Happy birthday.
Oh, Dad, you didn't have to do anything.
Of course I did.
The best daughter anyone could hope for.
Your mum would be proud of you. She's looking down on you right now, I know it. We're getting married!
I can't believe this, all the boys back together again.
However long you need, whatever it takes, it's okay.
I love you.
With all my heart.
It ended well. 122 episodes of struggles, but it ended well.
Oh, but it was beautiful. And Eric, Rebecca, both of you, the dynamic between Dave and Julie is just so precious. Did you find yourselves slipping into that gorgeous old married couple role immediately?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, it was, within, we did a little chemistry test before they decided that we would be the Rafter parents, and it worked really well. And then every day was just in our dressing gowns and our, pyjamas.
You mentioned 122 episodes. Any idea how many hours you guys spent together?
Yeah, well, I worked that out. It'd be about 3,000 hours we spent together, which is a long time. But it never really felt like that. And I think in that time, probably about 20 minutes, we might have had a little bit of, I just really would rather not be looking at you right now.
I never had that. I always wanted.
No, I thought that was you looking at me.
Never. From the minute we all got together, it was like I don't know, we just became a family.
We all clicked.
We'd have like a Friday, we'd do all the bed scenes, and everyone would end up in the Dave and Julie bedroom. Like, we'd all end up hanging out. The other cast would come in and we'd, have tea and scones. We'd fall asleep at lunchtime. George and Hugh used to do Naked Surprise, so they would jump out of closets.
Well,
So I want to ask you about that. You got up to some shenanigans on set quite a bit, didn't you?
we did. One day we actually hid, me and Hugh, in the cupboard for maybe 3 hours, waiting. We're waiting for him to come and do this scene in the bedroom, and they'd put it off. And we were in there, with very little clothes on. And finally they jump in the bedroom, action, and then we come out of the cupboard singing and dancing, and it was always towards the end of the season, like it was like a surprise.
And towards the end of the day, and all we wanted to do was finish the day.
Yeah.
Pact of the Rafters was your first TV job, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Were
that's
you
right.
pretty chilled and relaxed from day one?
Nah. So my first scene was with Rebecca and Eric, and all I had to say was, "Oh, g'day, Mr. Rafter, Mrs. Rafter." And I was so nervous because I had a crush on Rebecca from all the...
And me.
told me that.
No, that crush came later. I didn't know yet. And I went, "G'day, Mr. Rafter, Mr. Rafter." I kept calling Rebecca Mr. And then Rebecca said to me, just relax. So I did relax. I got it out, 2 lines.
Well, it clearly worked, what she said. Let's have a look.
Oh my God.
Mr. Rafter, Mrs. Rafter.
See? No mystery. Just drop that washing over in a straw, Mum.
There you are.
Smooth. There you go. No one would have known. Zoe, how about you? Because you hadn't worked with Rebecca before, had you, when you joined the cast? So was she what you expected?
Well, everybody knows that she's lovely and, don't be nervous. But I just didn't expect how supportive and welcoming she would be. And that mother role on the show really became like that offset as well. And, every time we bump into her, she'd be like, are you eating? How's that boyfriend? Is he treating you okay? It's just above and beyond what I'd heard and what I expected. So, yeah, she was wonderful.
Thank you.
Zoe, the death of your character, Mel, look, TV fan groups still call it one of the saddest moments on television. How did you both feel off screen?
It was awful.
Yeah, it really was. I remember at the time thinking it felt like I was losing a limb and I really had to grieve, I guess, the character and losing the family.
And we had it when we did the read-through, when we actually read that script, because we all, every week, would get together and read the script.
And we read that one and we were all sobbing at the end and looking, knowing not only that we were losing the character, but we were having to say goodbye to Zoe, and it was heartbreaking for all of us.
You guys all became incredibly close and you know, quite the family. And I understand that Rebecca would text you occasionally and say she missed Dave Rafter. Is that true?
Yeah, we've been messaging each other ever since we finished. I mean, it happened at the end of 2012, and we keep in touch. I mean, you know, I'll just take an opportunity to say how much of a privilege it was to work with you for those 5 years. You know, that we had.
Same.
You know, it was just you know, it's 5 years in a lifetime is quite a long time, and you know, we were lucky to do that. You know.
And I miss you.
Yeah, I miss you too.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see you. I haven't seen you for a year and a half or something like that.
I know.
Makeup. Yeah.
Well, there is another Rafter who misses you all. Ben Rafter himself, Hugh Sheridan.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know anybody in the Gibney, but I know it's going to be a good show because she had a great life.
Hi, Beck. It's me. Wow, I'm so sorry that I can't be there. I know that you know that I'm working in LA, but in all honesty, I would rather be there with you, celebrating tonight with everyone else, your amazing life. I still remember the first moment, Jess and I were at NIDA, Jess Murray, and we got told on the opening night that we got the roles in Rafters, and Jess turned to me and said, Rebecca Gibney's going to be our mum. And I was like, Halifax, all together now. And she was like, stingers. I've certainly had an emotional time thinking about all the times that we've had. The first scene of Rafters that we ever shot was you and I, when Ben says that he's moving out. And I was so nervous, and you were so kind to me, and you told me what a mark was and how to get there. And you reassured me that I was the right person for the role and that it was going to be great. And you were right. I love you so much, Beck. Everybody does. You bring us all together. I'm very proud of you. This is your life, so enjoy it, live it, and have fun for me. Well done.
That's beautiful. I mean, I still see Hugh all the time. He's a kind, beautiful soul. They all are. I just feel so blessed to have had that time on Rafters. I mean, I wish it hadn't finished, but I'm going to keep seeing these guys, and we'll work together on something.
Well, we're glad you had it too, because we loved it. It was really beautiful. So thank you for taking us back to those wonderful days. Please thank the cast of Pact to the Rafters.
It's going to be a mess.
Thank you. Now, another one of your best-known roles is that of forensic psychologist Jane Halifax. Oh. Halifax FP has been the subject of 21 television films so far. That is phenomenal. It's aired in 60 countries and is one of the longest-running telemovie series of all time. As lead character, Jane Halifax, Rebecca, you shared a really special moment with a rather handsome, up-and-coming young actor. It was his very first on-screen kiss. Let's just take a look at this steamy moment.
Oh, my God.
Look, I really don't want to play. Do you mind?
Oh, no. Oh, my husband going to see that.
What was that for?
It's from me. For Christmas.
I'm old enough to be your mother.
Not quite old enough to be his mother.
That was a little steamy.
Wow.
Steamy. Kissing Hugh Jackman. How did he go? Was he right?
He was pretty good. I actually, you know what? He was dating Deborah Lee, who is a very good friend of mine at the time. And I remember saying, no, he's not that good. Nah, he's kissing. Terrible kisser.
The funny thing is, though, you mentioned Deb.
Yeah.
So you also got a romantic offer from Deb in this show. And we have, of course, found that as well.
Oh, have you?
I'm very attracted to you. And some of the things you said, I just thought, well, a lot of women our age experiment. I'm sorry if you got the wrong impression. It wasn't intentional, really.
No, because they're too busy kissing your husband.
So you played both of their love interests. Rebecca Gibney, I'm a little shocked. You're full of surprises.
I know. Well, I wasn't a love interest for Deb. I mean, we're great mates, but we didn't actually, nothing eventuated there.
Yeah, well, we could feel what was in the air. But we've got a surprise for you now because neither of them can be here. They're working in the US. But here is a very special message from your on-screen paramours, Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Finesse.
Oh, my God.
Rebecca Gibney, this is your life. And we played with you during your life.
I think we may be the only couple that have both made out with you on film.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't think I was your lesbian lover.
Right.
Well, in my eyes, I was cast as that and had the big crush. I don't think I actually got to make out, and you did.
I did, and I just met Deb, and you guys were best friends, and I remember going to shoot the scene, and Steve Jodrell, who had directed Deb in Shame, was our director, and we did one wide shot. And at the end of the first take, he goes, "Cut, great, I think we got it." And I was like, "We got it?" And he goes, "Yeah, I think we got it." And you can tell Deb she owes me one.
Rebecca Gibney, we have had so much fun over the years, maybe a little too much fun.
That's the only story we could tell publicly. There's a lot of other great
exactly.
ones. But we love you. You deserve this honour, and we just are thrilled that we have been part of your life.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, my God. So I have had one audience question. Who was the better kisser, Eric or Hugh?
Oh, Eric, of course.
Yeah. Hugh's not here.
Still to come, the who's who of Australian drama and comedy will be here to pay tribute to you, Rebecca. Plus a special live performance. Don't go anywhere.
Next, secrets from behind closed doors from best friends and award-winning actors.
Look, there are a couple of dodgy moments, I won't lie.
And later, why Rebecca turned her back on Hollywood.
I'm just going to go home to Australia. I can't. I'm not cut out for this.
And an incredibly emotional family reunion.
Welcome back to This Is Your Life. Tonight we are celebrating the remarkable Rebecca Gibney. There is so much love in this room.
Oh, I'm having fun now.
Good.
I mean, I'll cry again, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but
there's no doubt.
So much fun.
Now, a decade before Packed to the Rafters, you were playing a stepmum opposite the great John English on All Together Now. I know it was quite a thrill for you, pretty exciting, but it was on this show in 1991 that you met one of your nearest and dearest friends. Please welcome Jane Hall.
Junior! Look at you! Look at you! Look at your hairs! Oh, so good to see you.
You look
Take a seat.
beautiful.
Thanks very much. I can come a bit
closer. Yeah. No, I wasn't expecting to sit down in this dress, but look, whoopsie-daisy.
It looks great.
Thanks very much.
So worth it.
Thank you.
I love your hair.
Thank you. Let's talk about you, please.
No, okay.
Sorry, we haven't actually seen each other for ages, so it's fantastic.
It is.
Yeah, it's a really big treat.
Well, I was going to ask you how much fun you had both on and off set when you did All Together Now, but I kind of feel like we've almost answered it because I just have to look at you.
A lot. Yeah, look, it was incredible. In those sort of glory years of television, you know, we had a very luxurious schedule, shall we say.
We did.
We had 5 days to record a half-hour comedy show, which we actually did in front of a live audience anyway. So that was, once Beck and I learnt our lunch, which took us about 20 minutes, then after that, we pretty much watched Oprah and sat in the green room.
We did. Well, I want to share with everyone a couple of moments from where it all began on All Together Now.
Animals were murdered to make those clothes.
Oh, rubbish.
Oh, that's right. Ignore the senseless slaughter of animals everywhere.
I'm not doing that.
Look at you. You're just a fashion seller doing her job. What a cop-out.
It's not that at all, Anna.
Oh, well, from where I stand, you're an accessory to murder.
They're fake furs.
It's Steve Jacobs.
Hey, that's a good one, Anna. Stop the senseless slaughter of baby nylons.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Oh, so long ago.
It was the most glorious time. It was a great show. We really
laughed a lot.
We laughed a lot.
It was all about fun and making fun. And so
Yeah.
it was one of those jobs where we just laugh every single day.
we laughed like drains.
We did.
And I, of course, you know, I was 18, just turning 19 when I got that role. We came together at a time where I was really looking for a role model, and I really found
I
the
don't
very
know how
best one.
good I was at being a role model. I was a little
Look,
bit
there were
naughty.
a couple of dodgy moments, I won't lie.
More than a couple.
More than a couple.
More than a couple.
Yeah.
It was the 90s.
Do you want? Which ones do you want to start with?
I could choose
yes.
one.
No.
Yes. No. Do please.
No.
Just an awards night that she ended up somewhere with someone that I stayed outside the hotel room until she came out.
Yeah, look, I was trying to have
saved her.
an innocent pash with like
Someone
quite
very
a-
famous.
quite a big rock star. It was like the greatest night of my life, and all I could hear was, "I know you're in there. Come out, I'm not leaving until you come out." And I was like, "Oh."
And it worked. She came out
I
at
have to go.
3:30.
I'm sorry, I have to go. And yeah, out I went.
We're not going to out the person.
But, you know, she was the big sister that I never had. When I moved into my first flat, she was there with my bags of groceries. When I needed a car, I asked whether I could buy your old bronze Honda Civic hatch, and boy, did I not love myself sick in that. You know, we're just very lucky. I was very lucky to have her on board.
Yeah, but there's a reason for that too. Jane is one of the most authentic people I think I've ever met. She is who she is. And she is loyal as loyal can be. And if you're lucky enough to have her as a friend, you know she'll be there till the end.
Well, I feel exactly the same way about Beck. Absolutely. There is no one I would trust more in, you know, my adult life than, you know, you, Beck. And our friendship has been one of the most enduring, important of my life, and just the most amazing delight for me. Just...
Well, I do feel like we need to fill out the couch. You're also dear friends with another iconic Australian actress who wowed you early on, but not only with her acting talent.
Buffy, you thought my frankfurts were an exotic dish because I used to cut the ends off so they would splay out like Christmas crackers.
Please welcome award-winning actor Kerry Armstrong.
Are we doing Ghostbusters and Jane didn't get the
I
memo?
didn't get the memo.
This feels like such a lovely reunion.
It's the Buffies. It's the
Buffies.
The Buffy thing. How did that happen?
You did it. You made it up. When we were all in All Together now, because I was the kid, she was the stepmom, and she was actually my mother.
I had her when I was 10.
It's true, but we all just hit it off, and for some reason we became Little Junior, Medium Junior, and Big Junior.
And Buffy. Buffy and Buffy.
And come in, spinner. This one had a makeup artist called David, and we were told we had to have 1940s makeup.
Yeah.
But Beck said to David, perhaps a little bit of mascara, perhaps a little bit here and there. One of us won an AFI award, and one of us looked like an idiot with sausage rolls.
No, you didn't.
Remember?
You look gorgeous.
Wasn't it great?
Yeah, it was great.
It was beautiful. And just so that everyone can be reminded of how beautiful, it's the award-winning mini-series Come In Spinner. Have a look.
Look.
Well, that ought to please you with the Americans on the
There's
move.
the sausages.
Not me. No, they're nice boys, the Brits. But their idea of a good time out is a seat at the flicks and a bunch of violets.
Oh.
She makes me sick. Well, you are late. 10 minutes! After working about, what, an hour and a half last night?
Look at my voice.
We joined the management deal. We just put shares in the place.
Sausages.
They were a little
So
bit.
beautiful. It was gorgeous. I love the whole look. And that role, Rebecca, just kept on giving for you, didn't it? It was quite amazing because not only did you get a new best friend, but also a Best Actress award, which not bad for somebody who said she never had a single acting lesson.
No, I was very lucky. I mean, it was a beautiful script, beautiful co-stars. I got the award because of everyone around me.
No, I think we were just, you know, in the midst of watching someone emerge, and for me that was just a privilege.
And Kerry was like my saviour that time because I was kind of, first time would come to Sydney and I didn't really sort of know many people, and this one would cook for me all the time.
I would cook these, and I did these cocktail frankfurts, and I didn't know what to do to make them look good, so I'd split the ends and make them splay out like
And then
Christmas
you'd put cheese in
crackers.
them too.
Put cheese, and Beck could say, "Oh, Buffy, they're marvellous.
What have you done with
We can have fish and chips tomorrow night.
And rissoles.
And rissoles.
Straight to the pool.
And frankfurts tonight."
And when I was going through a very, very bad time in my early 30s, and I was actually on the verge of a nervous breakdown, in fact, I pretty much did, Kerry was one of the few people that I was able to... I would go to her house and sit in a corner and cry, and she would bring me cups of tea and just stroke my hand and go, "You'll be okay."
Well, I also have to say that after that, when I was going through a bad time, I would go to the letterbox and find a $100 bill in a very, very nice envelope that I knew was from Beck at a time because, you know, thank heavens, these days artists are maybe being looked after, but we've had periods where we look after each other and you have to do it with grace. And that's what we've done, the three of us.
Yeah.
Marvellous.
Thank you so much, Jane.
Thanks for having
Kerry,
us.
for joining us.
Thank you for being you.
I think they're going to catch up.
I love this.
Don't go anywhere because our tribute to the gorgeous Rebecca Gibney continues right after this.
Still to come, how Rebecca met the love of her life.
She was sitting at the lunch table and I went, "Will you marry me?"
And her darkest moments.
I just knew that there was a hole inside me that was getting bigger and bigger, and I was tumbling into it.
Then later, special musical tributes. John Paul Young and Daryl Braithwaite.
This Is Your Life, where tonight we are celebrating the very deserving Rebecca Gibney, yet another Kiwi that we will happily claim as our own.
I'm Australian citizen as well. So
great, okay. Well, depending on which side of the ditch, that's all good. Our next guest is a legend of Australian television. Her career spans decades, but you didn't get the chance to work together until 2015. Please welcome Sigrid Thornton.
It's such a thrill to be here to celebrate you.
Darling.
I really am delighted
Thank
and
you for
privileged.
coming. Surprise! Where did your paths first cross?
We have to go back a long way.
Yeah.
And that's why it is so bizarre that we only worked together fairly recently.
Yeah.
It wasn't a relationship born out of working together. And that was kind of, it was very special actually, wasn't it, for that reason?
Well, in one mini-series you played the most unlikely in-laws.
Yes, the mini-series about Peter Allen, Not the Boy Next Door. And we both played mothers, very different mothers, of a married couple. I played Judy Garland, and of course Rebecca played Peter Allen's mother.
Marion.
And Rebecca's performance was absolutely one out of the box. I could come in as Judy at a certain period of her life, but you had to age from, what was the age range?
24 to 69.
It's not just makeup when you're aging as a performer. You have to, there's a really lot to it, and you really brought it back. It was an amazing performance.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, let's take a look at both of you in Peter Allen, Not the Boy Next Door.
I hear we're going to be related.
Oh, yes, I think so.
Well, would you like a drink? We're having double vodkas.
Oh, why not? Thank you, Miss Garland.
Judy.
Judy. I just want to say, you've always been my idea of somebody.
Then we're going to get along just fine.
Oh, I love it. But I know that role brought you together on screen, but your friendship goes a long way back. And I'm told that you both did something called a goddess workshop together.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Kerry and Deborah.
Yes. Well, this was actors. I have to preface by saying actors are curious people. we are. We went to this workshop, which was kind of all about. It was really about self-reflection and self-empowerment and being a woman and all of those things. There were lots of rose petals involved. Lots and lots.
Roses and milk and honey baths.
That's
and
right.
Burning things and
bonfires.
And I've still got the photos wrapped up in a special thing that says, "Do not open until after we all die."
Yes.
Because
She made it. we made a pact never to discuss what actually went on in that weekend.
No, but we do have some of those photos that we're going to share tonight. No, I'm kidding.
Kerry.
Can I not? I know everyone's face just went,
Yeah, no.
Oh.
But I have a memory, because it was myself, Kerry, Sig, Deborah Lee and Catherine Devaney.
That's right.
And we went to this, and it was like a couple of days.
It was a school camp.
It was a
really.
school
Like
camp.
school
We
camp.
all ended up in a dormitory in bunk beds, and we sang each other to sleep one night. And I just remember going, this is the most extraordinary experience with these
It really was amazing.
wonderful women. It was amazing.
Before I let you go, tell me some special words for this amazingly gorgeous woman.
There's something about you, Rebecca, that is completely and utterly authentic. But not only that, there's so much warmth and love in your heart that you are beyond generous with at every turn.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Please give it up for the wonderful Sigrid Thornton.
Bless you.
Let's talk about your career and how it began. Did you always want to be an actress?
No, I wanted to be the first female Prime Minister of New Zealand.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to be an actress. It just wasn't a career that I even envisioned at all. And I think the only reason was because Mum was worried that I was turning into such a tomboy that she sent me for deportment lessons when I was about 15, because I refused to wear makeup or brush my hair, or I was always in jeans or flannelette shirts and Ugg boots. I still prefer that as well. Yes. Yeah.
Your Australian career began when you were 20 on a show called Zoo Family. Now, this was filmed at Melbourne Zoo. It featured a vet, his 2 children, a cast of animals, and you playing the role of a zoologist. Is it true they had to give you lessons to get rid of the New Zealand accent?
They did. I had a bit of a thick accent. Yes, I did. I hadn't been here. I hadn't been across the Dutch very long. So, yeah, it was a little bit thick. I slipped back into it really quickly. Yeah.
Well, let's dig through the archives
Oh,
to
no.
1985, and this is Zoo Family.
Oh, no.
The only thing I want is to keep this fella alive. Parental abuse or not.
Just have to muddle through without Zeisman. What do you say?
Oh, no. I mean,
Who's a zoologist at 20, 19? A zoologist.
But you chose that role over another show.
I did. I arrived in Australia not knowing anyone. I kind of rocked up to an agency and went, hi, I've done a little bit in New Zealand, can I get a job? And I just went for a couple of auditions and I got offered that and a show called Neighbours. And my agent at the time said, you've got to do Zoo Family because Neighbours will kill you. Because I wasn't experienced enough, so she suggested I do that.
Well, straight after that came a TV mega hit. In 1986, you land the starring role of Emma Plimpton in the hugely successful The Flying Doctors. Now, the series ran for 9 seasons and it was watched by millions worldwide.
You played a mechanic, I played a doctor, and together we won fans from the Netherlands to Nigeria.
Please welcome actor and your co-star, Andrew McFarlane.
I thought you were in Bali.
Oh, yes, I jetted home especially.
Did you?
Yes, a tropical island can't keep me away from you, Miss Beck.
You mentioned fans when you did that show. Who got the more fan mail, you or Rebecca?
Oh, you were in the show a bit longer than I was, actually.
You still got the most fan mail.
I don't know about that.
Yes,
but
he did.
All over the world, really. But Germany and Holland seem to be the main holders of the fan club.
And still.
And still do, and they raise money for the Royal Flying Doctor Service, and they go on treks to Australia and go out to Minyip and they visit
Emma's Garage.
Emma's Garage.
You played a mechanic in The Flying Doctors. Was that part of the appeal for you? Because it was pretty unusual for a woman.
I auditioned along with everyone else. I was just so thrilled when I got the role. And I actually, because people said Kylie Minogue was the first female mechanic on Australian TV, and I went, no, I slid in there before Kylie was on Neighbours as the first female
You
mechanic.
wore overalls before she did.
I did wear overalls and dirtied up my face.
Can you tell us about your first meeting?
We were filming up in Horsham, which is the wheat belt in Victoria, and we would stay in this quite glamorous for a country motel. It was called the Golden Grain, but we called it the Golden Groin. And those photographs will remain under lock and key as well. But anyway, and So they were having a cast dinner when I arrived, and they'd all been saying, "Oh, this gorgeous thing, this Rebecca Gibney, she's fabulous." And I go, "Really? Who? What?" She'd pushed people away, evidently, and so that I sat down right next to, and she turned over and she said, "Hello, I'm Rebecca, and I'm going to be your newest best friend." And I went, well, by the end of that dinner, actually, you really were. We kind of locked together, and then we had scenes together, and it was just so much fun.
You always managed to be sort of well-behaved. I mean, I was always...
Well, I was the responsible doctor, after all.
Please thank Andrew McFarlane. So let's go to 1991.
I can't remember that far back.
That's my job, don't worry. After the Flying Doctors, you had a brief flirtation with Hollywood. The door was definitely open, but you chose not to step through it. Why?
No, I remember going, and I was there for about 3 weeks, and I ended up with I had a meeting with a casting person, I think at Disney or Warner Brothers, one of those big ones, and she was late for the meeting, so I sat in this room for 45 minutes, and there was a life-size picture of Gina Davis, and there was another one of Susan Sarandon, because Thelma and Louise was a big hit. And I just sat there looking at these two women going, I'm not like either of those two. What am I doing here? So by the time I got in to have the meeting, I said, look, I'm wasting your time. I'm just going to go home. And she went, home as in back to where you're saying. I said, no, home to Australia. I can't. I'm not cut out for this. I'm sorry. And she was trying to convince me to stay. I mean, yes, they pay the big bucks in Hollywood and all that, but I think Hollywood tends to go too far with, they put everyone on pedestals, and there is this, people start believing their own publicity, whereas Australia and New Zealand is very real. There's a realism, and I love telling Australian stories and New Zealand stories. I love being a part of an industry where we treat each other the same. I love that you feel part of a collaboration and part of a team. And that's what I love about this country, and that's what I love about being here. And I got on a plane and went home, came home.
Moving to 1995, and this, you have been really open about your battles, your challenges with anxiety over the years, haven't you? And I look at this amazing actress. You are playing these strong, feisty women on screen. What was life like off screen?
It was pretty tough. And that was the hard thing, I think, because as an actor, you do put on a front, and my career was going great guns. My first marriage had fallen apart, and I couldn't talk about it. And I think that's the other thing about mental health is we don't talk about it enough. And I was struggling, and I just couldn't verbalise what was wrong. I just knew that there was a hole inside me that was getting bigger and bigger, and I was tumbling into it. And I was very lucky that I was on a plane. I was in the south of France with Roger Lemaitre and Roger Simpson, who were the producers of Halifax. And on the way home, Roger could see, it took me 5 Valium to get from the south of France back to Australia. I was having anxiety attack after anxiety attack after anxiety attack. And he handed me the card of this woman and said, you need to go and see this woman. And I made an appointment the next day because I was in such a hole, I thought I'm not going to make it. And that was the beginning of 2 years of solid therapy. But I didn't even tell Mum. I couldn't even tell my family that I was, because I couldn't explain it. I thought, I don't even understand it, so how can I explain what it is? And that's why I think it's so important that now people are talking about their struggles, and we are encouraging, because if you get the help, you can get through it. So I know if I even start to slide into that pit, I know that there's a way out of it.
All these years later, you seem so much more in control of your life and your career. You've got your own beautiful family, and your career just hasn't stopped giving. It's just going from one brilliant thing to the next. Are you enjoying it even more?
I'm loving it, because I think that's the other thing about the beauty about getting older is you stop caring less about what other people think, and you start caring more about what you think and your opinion of yourself. And as long as you become true to yourself and you're okay with that, and that's accepting everything, accepting your flaws and accepting the things that are not great, because we've all got shadow sides, we've all got great sides, and we've all got pretty horrible ones. And you've got to get to a point in your life that you go, that's okay. I'm still okay if I do my best, if I'm trying as hard as I can to be a good person. Got one life, you've got to, you know, you've got to grab it and make the most of it.
Yay. Best message. We've got more tributes to Rebecca Gibney and plenty more surprises when This Is Your Life returns in just a moment.
Wow. Next, the most special people in Rebecca's life.
I'm just hanging on for dear life.
Welcome back to This Is Your Life with the delightful Rebecca Gibney. And we are about to meet two of the most special people in your life. Would you please welcome Rebecca's husband, producer and artist, Richard Bell, and their son, Zach. Australia's sweetheart with her sweethearts.
There's my sweetheart.
Oh,
hi.
Zach, I'm going to start with you. And we know your mum as an actress. What's she like as a mum?
Oh, I mean, like, to really speak super mum, you know? There's no, like, straight up, there's no one else like her. So much love and kindness. And for me, mum's always been mum. She was never famous in my eyes. She never had that perception because she was always just so human, so natural all the time. She always really preached to me that because of who she is and because, you know, we're no different, we're no better than anyone else. We're just people. And sometimes I get reminded of what mum does. But no, just mostly she's just an awesome human who I love with all my heart, really.
He's our light and our joy and our soul. And what I'm so proud of is that he's the most sweetest, kindest, generous, respectful human. We've raised him, you know, he's just a really good soul on his own, and he's very authentic too, so I'm just proud of the person that he is.
I want to ask you about your Instagram stardom. This is fantastic, because I'll be honest, my son, when he was a teenager, was like totally embarrassed to even be in a photograph with me. But you and your mum clearly have a lot of fun together.
Yeah, I was never really that keen on it. Mum would always come into my room, set up dancing videos, and then one day, I think it was this day, she got me on the right day. And then I was hooked ever since. And I just had the best time.
It's just so fun.
Just having fun with mum, eh? Just doing just random stuff with the intention of just, you know, entertaining people. And we were just like, yeah, we're at home, it's just us, let's have some fun, let's make some stuff. And we did.
You clearly did. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Rebecca, when it comes to parenting, you've called Richard your ultimate teammate.
He is. I've been with this man for 22 years. From the minute we met, we've just been on the same page with everything. We very rarely argue, do we?
No.
We're just great mates. We like the same music, we like the same ice cream, we like the same places to go. He's everything. Yeah. I feel very lucky.
You actually grew up on the same street.
We did.
Yeah. And then you moved to Australia in the same year.
Yep.
But it was on the set of Halifax FP that you actually bonded over a mobile phone.
I walked on and I saw the 6-foot blonde gorgeousness and I went, who's that? Oh, that's our production designer. But I did actually say, you know, the phone, I would really love the mobile phone that he, as a production designer, he'd got for me. And then I couldn't stop, I couldn't help myself. I started flirting outrageously. And one day over lunch, he was sitting at the lunch table and I went, will you marry me? And he just kind of looked at his shoes and went very red. And then the end of the day, I got into my trailer and the mobile phone was sitting in its case and I opened up the lid and on the inside it said the answer is yes.
So
we hadn't even had a
cool.
date.
I've got to step my game up.
Oh, yeah. That's very smooth. Richard, do you remember the story exactly the same?
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, I like to operate quietly behind the scenes, so writing on the phone was easy. But,
Richard hates this. This is his worst nightmare.
I know.
This is his absolute worst nightmare, having to speak in front of people. It's not. The fact that he's actually here is, I'm just hanging on for dear life.
Yeah.
He's going to run out the door and anyone that knows him knows that.
Zach, well, you are following in Mum's footsteps as far as acting goes. You had your first professional role at the age of 11, right alongside Mum in the crime drama Winter. Have a look.
Oh, look!
Dad. Dad?
here, mate. It's all right. Leave the idea.
So cute. Oh. I know that Mum and Dad have been very supportive, but they did try and talk you out of it, didn't they?
Yeah. There was definitely a stage there where they were sort of trying to steer me away from it. It was never so much don't act, it was we'd really like you not to. And one day Mum was away filming somewhere and I was talking to Dad and we were having the what do you want to do with your life conversation. And I said, I really want to act, but I don't know how I'm going to start. And Dad made the mistake, oh, there's drama schools all over the place.
So I'm thinking he's going to be a marine biologist. I'm filming Wanted in the middle of South Australia and I get this phone call from Zach going, guess what? I'm going to be an actor. And I'm like, put your father on.
Rebecca, before you were a wife and mum, you were a little sister in a very big family. I know you're a very close family. You catch up often, but you haven't seen your mum for 3 years, which is the longest time apart ever in your lives. Well, no more. Please welcome your mum, Shirley, your brothers, Michael and Patrick, and 2 of your 3 sisters, Teresa and Stella. I don't want to interrupt this moment. No. Shirley, tell us about little Rebecca. What was she like?
Well, she was just ordinary, you know, just normal. Just
See, that's why I'm the way I am. There you go.
As she was growing up, she always wanted to be the first Prime Minister of New Zealand, Lady Prime Minister.
I think Jacinda's doing a much better job, just quietly.
But she was pretty good at school. And when she was about 10, my husband's, one of his friends, came round and he looked at her and he said, she's going to be the beauty of the family. And I said, oh, come on. She's only a 9-year-old and she looks all right and the others aren't too bad. And then she turned out to be this amazing actress who, when she was even in her teens, would not go into a shop on her own because she was too shy. She wouldn't go and buy a loaf of bread. I had to go in with her because, no. And I think that's why she's so good at what she does, because she doesn't have to be herself. She can just pretend to be anybody in the world.
Well, you mentioned that she wanted to be New Zealand's first female Prime Minister.
Yeah.
No offence, but you didn't make it into that highest of office. But we do have a very special message from someone who did.
Kia ora, Rebecca. This is your friend, Jacinda Ardern.
Oh, my God!
You're ultimately a Kiwi, having been born in Levin, as I understand, but having had such a successful career in Australia. I know that your ultimate goal as a child was to be the first female Prime Minister in New Zealand. And whilst I'm really sorry that Jenny Shipley robbed you of that honour, I can tell you that regardless, New Zealand is incredibly proud of you. Have a fabulous night.
Oh, my God! How good is that? Amazing! Oh, my God! That's amazing! Wow. That's wow. Stella, has Rebecca always had performing in her blood?
Oh, absolutely. I think when you were little, you'd walk, wander around the house with either the vacuum cleaner cord or a brush to pretend she was singing.
That, eh? And who did the disco dancing lessons?
Me.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I was about 21, she was 14. So we did Saturday Night Fever. Who remember Saturday Night Fever? Remember the Brooklyn Hustle?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Well, if you don't, we're going to show it to you.
Oh, my God.
So we're going to do it, and you're going to follow on. Okay?
Okay.
So let's go.
Okay.
How much following him? Okay.
Go. One. Two. Round our corner, here we go. Round our corner, here we go. Kick and fly, all of them. Come. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. See, you still got it.
Not as good as you, bro. This man can move.
Was not expecting that, but that was brilliant.
Lot of
Okay,
fun.
certainly can move. Teresa, what was it like having a superstar sister?
During all the time of having her as a celebrity, amazing to go into supermarkets and you see your picture on the magazines. It's like, oh, it's my sister. This is surreal. It's my sister.
Because, Mike, you don't all live in the same city, obviously, but you all stay in contact.
Yes, we do. In fact, Rick orchestrates that with Zoom. We have Zooms quite often.
Family's everything.
Yeah, it is.
And I think that's the one thing we've learnt from COVID. Family and relationships are more important than anything else, and we have to foster them. So.
Yes. I know this is a hard thing, Shirley, to ask you to talk about one child when you've got another 4 sitting here and 1 at home, and I know that's awkward.
Oh,
and you
we're
can.
used to it, don't
I
worry.
was going to say you can talk to them later on tonight, but this is
Knock yourself out.
This is your life. Is there anything that you would like to say to her tonight?
I'd like to say thank you for never forgetting where you came from, never forgetting the people that you work with and the friends that you've made. You do things for others that a lot of people don't know about and never learn about. And I'm just very proud of the woman you are. I love the actress you are, even though some of the things you do I can't watch. But I'm just so proud of the woman you are. And it's...
I love you so much. Thank you for coming.
We are so lucky to have the Gibney clan together. Thank you all for coming along tonight.
Thank you for inviting us. It's been great.
Well, we have so much more ahead on This Is Your Life as we celebrate Rebecca Gibney. Stay with us.
Up next, the song that brought joy back into Rebecca's life. When This Is Your Life returns.
Welcome back to This Is Your Life, where we are celebrating the gorgeous Rebecca Gibney. Now, despite everything on your plate, making everybody else happy is always a priority for you, which is amazing. So during lockdown, you put out a call to all of your famous friends to dance to John Paul Young and Love Is in the Air.
I did.
It became a viral smash.
Love is in the air. Everywhere I look around. Love is in the air. Every sight and every sound. And I don't know if I'm being foolish. Don't know if I'm being wise. But it's something that I must believe in. And it's there when I look in your eyes.
She kept saying, why is there so much space here? What's happening? First of all, Rebecca, why that song?
Oh, it's a legendary song. It's the song that brings joy. It's the song that whenever you hear it, it's always made me feel happiness. And when COVID hit and then life was really sad for everyone, I just went, that's the song that's going to bring joy back, I think. And I'm just a bit gobsmacked, really.
Thank you so much.
much.
The song, isn't it? 40
Pleasure.
years later.
How does it work? The song's older than me. It really is quite amazing, like we thought we were onto a bit of a hit way back in 1977 it was, when it was first recorded, but could never have imagined, that 44 years later, it's still relevant. It's a great testament to George Young and Harry Vander.
Couldn't be the song without you.
And it still makes us all happy. That is so fabulous. Please, a huge round of applause for the wonderful John Paul Young.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, my God. Well, here is one of your co-stars from that fabulous video. She starred with you in 2020's Halifax Retribution.
Hi, Beck.
Aww.
You are sunshine and love and joy and all of the things that I want to be more of. I have so many fun, naughty memories.
Naughty!
When we were filming Halifax towards the end, we were shooting the big climactic moments where we're saving Melbourne from being blown up, and it was really, really hot, and you and I spent our time sitting in air conditioning in the car making stupid videos, which says a lot about us. You probably don't know, but whenever we had one-on-one scenes together, I was so nervous. I always get a little bit nervous, but not nervous like that, and I think it just comes down to the fact that I admire you so much as an actor, and I admire you so much as a person. I wanted to do well and impress you and not let you down, and yeah, you made me really nervous in a good way. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not there. I am sending you massive hugs and big love from our homeland in Aotearoa. I'm in my mum's garden. Have a wonderful night. You so deserve it. I love you.
And please welcome another of your Halifax co-stars, Ben O'Toole. What makes working with Rebecca so special?
I got the honour of working with Rebecca in Halifax Retribution. And it is an honour because, you know, you think about how many people have come through that show. You've built a lot of careers.
His bad guy was extraordinary. It really was. I mean, like, when Ben auditioned, he did a self-tape and it just came in, and everyone that saw it was just like, well, there he is. He didn't need to come into the room or anything. His audition was extraordinary. Like, he's one of those special actors. He's very, yeah.
Because I can't imagine everyone could play Jared, a paranoid madman who wanted to blow up Melbourne. Pretty intense.
How much do you think the real estate of Greater Melbourne's worth?
More than it should be.
What if it's uninhabitable for a year? Or maybe 5 years?
So you've thought about everything. What if you don't make it that far?
You're already talking about the snipers, those two over there, or the one by the truck. You know what? I don't think they're going to want to shoot me. Things will get ugly.
What happens if you stop pressing the button?
I think you know.
That wasn't even his best stuff.
Why do you think the character and the program has stood the test of time?
Look, everyone loves to be an armchair detective as well, and I think that's a good mystery thriller. And that's down to the writing and also the creator, Roger Simpson, who, when he created the character all those years ago, it was the first female forensic psychiatrist ever portrayed on television anywhere in the world. So before CSI and before all those other shows, and I think that's what people wanted to watch. They wanted to see a strong female doing those things. So more power to Roger Simpson for that.
Ultimately, I think the success of the character and that show is you. Without you, they're just words on a page.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
She nearly gave it away.
Yes, please, Kerry.
Rebecca called me and she said, they want me to do this role. I can't do it. I won't be good enough. Do you remember that? She said there are all these other actresses, Janet Andrew Arthur, Sigrid. She said there are all these other people that could do this. And she said, I feel like I wouldn't be good enough. And I remember saying, you've got to go for it, Buffy. You'll be fine. But she honestly nearly gave it away.
Thank goodness you can all convince her. There is a lot more still to come on this very special night. Don't go away.
Next, what happened when Rebecca started doing her own stunts?
And Beck would be running, going, but I'm also doing it in high heels.
Plus stars from Wanted and The Crown. This is your life.
Welcome back to This Is Your Life. Well, Rebecca, so far we've seen you portray a mum, forensic psychologist, a zoologist, a country mechanic. But in recent years, you've been getting kind of down and dirty and changing things up, playing a few un-Rebecca-like characters. So our next guests have seen the dark side of you firsthand. Please welcome co-stars Robbie Magasiva and Dean O'Gorman.
Hi, Bex.
Hi, Bex.
Thank you, gents, for joining us. Robbie, I want to start with you because you did Low Down Dirty Criminals with Rebecca, which is just the best name ever. Let's just have a very quick look.
Yes, thank you. No, that's perfect. This is where you'll find him. And remember, Roy, it's important you don't kill him until after he tells you where it is.
Not a problem, Skip.
Well, fuck off then.
Ooh, so Robbie, what did you think? How did she go playing a baddie?
There's the proof right there. You just saw it. No, I mean, she's Rebecca Gibney. She can do anything. I had never met Rebecca before, but when I heard that Rebecca was doing it, I thought, I'm going to do this film because of Rebecca.
Oh. Dean, you starred inspired with Rebecca in Wanted. Tell us about that role for her.
She was kind of a badass in Wanted, which is disconcerting because as a person, she's so effervescent and funny, and we could be laughing and chatting just before a take, and then they say action, and then Bex is like, boom. And she's like all serious, and it's like, whoa, where did the Rebecca go? Yeah. What's happening? She's just kind of amazing like that. I mean, she can balance being the producer and the, writer and the lead in the show, and it's kind of like a whirlwind of talent that's just depressing.
That's our Bex.
Well, let's have a look at a scene from Wanted.
Don't move.
Whoa, whoa. Okay.
Right on the ground. Chelsea.
Now get inside. Don't try anything. Okay. Now, where's our stuff?
What?
Chelsea, search through the bag. What? Okay.
That is so good.
Love you guys.
You guys are fantastic. Thank you to Robbie and Dean for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Love you, Bex.
Wanted is amazing. It is incredible. I hope you're super proud. It's a series nominated for an international Emmy, was created by none other than yourself and your husband, Richard. Tell us about Lola and how she evolved.
When we got into the writer's room, we talked about having a backstory for her and why she is the way she is and why she is on the run, and we sort of ended up putting in a domestic violence situation in that. She's badass, but she's got a heart of gold. So that's why I came up with it.
Love Lola. Also love you driving fast cars. I hear you're quite the dab hand.
I love it. Oh, yeah, and I do on my own stunts. In fact, they had a stunt driver for me on season 1, but the stunt driver kept saying, well, you might as well do it because you're doing it anyway. So I'm a hoon. I let my inner hoon out.
Excellent.
Then I get to wear flannelette shirts and baseball caps. It's my, it's my dream job.
Happy place.
Yeah.
The other thing about Lola too is you've often talked about looks and, women can be so hard on other women. So it was important for you, wasn't it, that Lola was representative of all of us.
Ordinary people. Yeah. I wanted women to be able to sit at home and go, that could be me. I want to be in that car. I want to be, wearing a baseball cap and doing that stuff. Because you don't get to see that very often. You don't get to see chicks with guns and beating up the bad guys and, so it was fun.
Lola was joined by the most unlikely partner in crime.
Beck, there is no one I'd rather spend a week in a car boot with.
Please welcome your Wanted co-star, Geraldine Hakewell. Well, Geraldine, let's have a look at some of Rebecca's greatest action moments from Wanted.
Why don't you just let us go? Well, we're not going to say anything. If the cops ask, we'll just say it was the other guy. He was the one with the gun. Why do you want to make this worse than it already is? Get back.
You look very comfortable with that gun.
I got us out of there is what I did. How stupid do you think we are?
your arms out. Where's the car?
Get in.
I have a condition.
I have a gun.
This is how people die. They dehydrate and then some backpacker finds their throat.
Oh, will you shut up? We're not going to die.
Oh my gosh. So tell me about the role, how much fun you had. You spent a lot of time hiding in boots and running.
Yeah, we got to do stunts. We were trapped in shipping containers going to Thailand. We faked our passports and went to New Zealand. And she had to do everything with lifts in her shoes.
I did
as
because
well.
she's so tall.
So I'd be running and Beck would be running going, okay, this is a bit hard, but I'm also doing it in high heels.
But clearly so far from being Julie Rafter.
Oh, yeah.
Was that fun?
That was the best part. Yeah. Because again, I just wanted to create something that was different from what I'd done. It's all about reinvention, and having fun.
Don't go anywhere. I'll be back with more surprises for Rebecca Gibney in just a few moments.
Next, more tears for Rebecca with heartfelt tributes from the star of The Crown. Then, Rebecca's favourite dance floor song performed by Daryl Braithwaite live.
Welcome back to a very special This Is Your Life as we celebrate Rebecca Gibney. Well, now to a star who grew up watching you on screen before finding her own place in Australia's heart.
Hello, gorgeous Rebecca. I remember before I had even met you, I was praying to the career gods, can I have a career like Rebecca Gibney? You have never lost perspective in an industry where some people we do. And you are just to work with, you are the kindest, most present, generous, just consistently sweet professional you could ever hope to work with. You have a very lucky family and I love working with you and I hope we get to work together again. Have a great night.
Well, it's time now for another guest who adores you. So please welcome from the movie Clubland and mini-series Winter, actor and director Katie Wall. Katie, you knew Rebecca and you were a fan before you started working together. But am I right that you actually didn't recognise her straight away?
Yeah, so we met on Clubland, a film, and it was quite a low-budget film, and I think we were all sharing trailers.
Yes,
Is that
we
your
were.
memory? So
Yep.
we were sharing trailers. And I ended up speaking to this woman who was dressed in leopard print with long, brown, thin, curly hair. There was these like little toss-backs. And then afterwards somebody said to me, do you know that that was Rebecca Gibney? And I was so shocked, not only because she'd completely kind of transformed physically, but I just found you so kind of grounded. Like, I thought you were like a fun wardrobe girl.
That's hilarious.
So I take it then no hierarchy, no airs and graces?
None. And it was the same on Winter, actually. I think you really set the tone for that show. I think that it was just based on equality and kindness, and it was just felt really homely and lovely, that show as well.
Well, I know that you're not alone because another famous Australian face is actor, comedian, writer and host Jane Kennedy. She's a very dear friend of yours, I know, and she wanted to send you this message.
Oh.
Oh, hello, Buck Gibney. I'm so excited for you. This is your life. I'm sorry I can't be there in person to see you share in your wonderful friendships and achievements. I'm coming to you from a place you're very familiar with, our local bar. Oh, cheers. We have had so many wonderful adventures over 25 years of friendship. And one of those great times I remember was the night we were invited to our dear friend Sam Neill's house for dinner. Now, we were both a little bit nervous going. We weren't quite sure who we'd know there. And we arrived early, so we thought we'd have a little peek at the dinner table's place settings. So we walked around, we found my name, Jane, and then someone called Tom, and then your name, Rebecca. We thought, I wonder who Tom is. Oh my God, it was Tom Cruise.
What?
Tom sat between us. The poor guy, we chewed his ear off. I don't think he got a word in all night. Anyway, I'm so proud of you. You're such a very loyal, special, kind, genuine friend. And I do treasure our friendship. Love you and see you soon. Bye.
Love Jane.
But that was a wild dinner party.
Oh, that was a dinner party, and Ewan McGregor was there too. It was, and no one had told me. So I'd literally come from a set with Temuera Morrison, he said, "Oh, Sam's having a barbecue," and I went, "Oh, barbecue, okay." So I just showed up in jeans and a t-shirt, walked in, and there's, you know, Tom in a fancy outfit, and there's Brian Brown, and it was all, yeah. I think I drank and got naughty very quickly with Jane.
So let's go now to your most recent project, Under the Vines. It's where you were filming in New Zealand's beautiful Central Otago wine region, where I had to come and surprise you with the big red book. Tough gig, but it was gorgeous. But it follows two strangers thrust together when they unexpectedly inherit shares in a vineyard.
Just a bit confusing to me as to how both of us can be sole heirs to my uncle's vineyard.
Well, also my father's vineyard.
Well, stepfather.
Clearly he loved me as his own.
Oh, it was so beautiful. Well, your co-star in Under the Vines is also a star of Downton Abbey, The Crown, and the upcoming Lord of the Rings series. And he sends you this heartfelt message.
Oh, Charlie.
Okay, so I've got AD blank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was probably some terrible Americanism. It's never been the same since they sold it to the New York Times. Hi, Beck. Just doing this morning's Wordle. You'll know all about that. So I'm now back home, having spent the first half of this year and the first half of last year in your wonderful company, filming Under the Vines in New Zealand, which we both love, and the reasons are many, not least your presence. You've given me hugs exactly when they're needed. You've got a sort of sixth sense about these things, as indeed you do about everyone on that set. When they need it, you step in and they're 100% for the rest of the day. That is why it's such a phenomenally happy place. So I just want to say thank you so much. And sending you lots of love. And hoping you have a wonderful, wonderful night. And much love to you all. Oh, hold on. ADORE. Adore. Well, it would be, wouldn't it?
Oh my gosh. He's beautiful,
Really
man.
tearing up.
Yeah, he's a beautiful, beautiful man. He's like another brother from another mother. We just got on incredibly well.
You seem to have these roles that you love, like
Yeah,
the
I do.
way you look at all of the characters you've been, it's just as though they're a friend. Do you choose them or do you think they choose you?
I think it's a bit of both, and I try and live as much as I can in the moment and really cherish every character or everything that I do. I really want to try and be as present as possible and make the most of it, because I feel so blessed and so lucky to be here, to be doing this, to have all these people doing this. It's humbling, and I'm really grateful. So, yeah, thank you.
We are so glad that you feel that way because we love it as much as you do. When we return, a surprise live performance just for Rebecca.
Oh my God.
This is your life. Welcome back to This Is Your Life. Rebecca, if this night has proved anything, it's that everybody loves Rebecca Gibney.
Oh, thank you.
So we wanted to close the show with a musical tribute that everybody adores. And just like you, it has stood the test of time. It will always remain an icon. And on good sources, Richard, Zach, thank you very much. I understand that this is one of your favourite sing-alongs of all time. So please welcome Daryl Braithwaite with
Oh my God!
We will fly where high, but the cold wind blows, or in the sun, laughing, having fun with all the people that she knows. And if the situation should keep us separated, you know the world won't fall apart, and you will free the beautiful bird that's got inside your heart. Can't you hear her? Oh, she cried so loud, cast a wild note over water and cloud. That's the way it's gonna be, the darling. We'll go ride the horse and yeah. Can way up in the sky, darling. Oh, and if you fall, I'll pick you up. You will grow, and until you go, and I'll be right there by your side. Even then, whisper the wind, and she will carry up your right. I hear all people of the world in one bird's lonely cry. See them trying every way they know how to make their spirit fly. Can't you see it? He's down on the ground with a broken wing, looking all around. That's the way it's gonna be, the darling. We'll go riding the horse and yeah. Can way up in the sky, darling. Oh, and if you fall, I'll pick you up, pick you up. That's the way it's gonna be, darling. We'll go riding the horse and yeah. Can way up in the sky, darling. Oh, and if you fall, I'll pick you up, pick you up. That's the way it's gonna be, little darling. You can ride it on the horses, yeah. Way up in the sky, little darling. Don't you worry about a thing. If you fall, I'll pick you up, pick you up. That's the way it's gonna be, little darling. We'll go ride the horses, yeah. Way up in the sky, darling. Oh, and if you fall, I'll pick you up. You
Daryl Braithwaite, everyone, give it up.
Thank you. That was amazing. Thank you.
Rebecca Gibney, we have heard so many wonderful stories tonight. You are clearly loved. You are one of our greatest actors, most popular stars. You're a great mum, a great partner, a great friend. So Rebecca Gibney, I'm going to cry again. This is your life.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
I'm Melissa Doyle. Good night.